We are halfway through the hike. A little challenging, some pain, but nothing we can't handle. Welcome back to the Cotswolds Continue, a commentary and director's cut. Ben is here. Ben has still never watched this miniseries.
I know what we're doing. It's about hot dogs, right? It's a hot dog documentary.
Yep. Hey, thanks for coming back. This is day 3 of the hike. So this is our third video. What? Do you know where this is going, or are you just smiling?
No, as soon as you said that, I realized I should probably have verified what day of the hike this video is.
So it's definitely day 3.
I feel like that's what makes these fun, is that I have no idea what we're doing or talking about. Yeah.
Every week Ben is like, oh, I forgot this is the thing we're doing.
Forget everything you know about the Cotswolds. Done.
So if we have 9 videos and this is our third one, that means how many do we have to do left? This is the math question for you.
There's 9 videos?
Yeah.
Is that 9 walking videos, or is that including the travel day?
9 walking videos.
Okay, 6.
So we have 6 videos left.
Yeah.
And we have 5 weeks until our child arrives.
Oh boy.
So we either need to do...
Theoretically 5. I mean,
it could be less. So our plan is to get all of these done before that, because could you imagine we do all of these? Do all of these, and then the last one takes...
Say hello.
We either look terrible and have a newborn and are exhausted.
Hey, who's going to look terrible?
We're going to be so tired.
We'll look great.
I don't know. So we'll see how this all shakes out. But the plan right now is to do 1 a week. Hopefully the last one makes it. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, next week we could have a kid. Wow. That's insane.
Pretty wild to think about.
Yeah. But today, day 3, I think this is the longest 15 miles today.
Is this where we start in Cleeve?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This is also one of our least watched Cotswold videos.
Is it really?
Yes, which I think is crazy because this was a crazy day. So I felt this is the one everyone's going to love.
This is one of my favorite days.
Yeah, me too.
Not top favorite, but the start of this hike is one of my favorite moments of the whole
Everyone hates it. This one and day 8. And I understand day 8 because day 8 we were very low energy.
Not a lot happened on day 8 either, I think.
But this one's big.
Oh, but day 8 also had one of my favorite places that we stayed. That farm.
Mm-hmm. Day 8 was cool.
Yeah.
I do want to, before we dive in, do you remember last week when I read a couple comments that were like, I've never seen a bull in that field?
Yes.
We got a comment on our last video. And it said they did see a bull in the field.
Oh.
Hey. Yeah. So the bull is real. There is a bull in that field. Someone has seen it. And the same person who commented that they saw the bull in the field also did the hike in 5 days. So...
In 5 days?
In 5 days. So that's pretty impressive.
So that bull wouldn't have caught up to them anyway.
Yeah.
5 days is moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Shall we get into it?
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Let's watch day 3. The day I almost quit and cry. Morning, Ben.
Good morning. This is pretty spectacular.
Start of day 3. I'm sore. I was hoping I'd feel wonderful this morning, and I sure don't. I've got more blisters, and we've got 15 miles today.
I have a lot of photos of my feet with the blisters, but I'm afraid to put those on the internet.
I wouldn't.
It's going to find the wrong audience, but I want y'all to know there are pictures of my feet. It's pretty gross, but I can't put those on the internet.
Yeah, it was bad. I was genuinely concerned for you at this point and for your ability to complete this hike.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about
Me too.
even the notion of calling a cab to get you place to play or to get either of us, but this was where those thoughts started creeping in.
I'm excited and everything is going well.
We did get an inside scoop that the walk today, although longer than yesterday, A, there's less elevation change, and B, there's more shade than yesterday's walk. Yesterday had a lot of sections where it was just open fields and there's not a cloud in the sky still. I checked the forecast this morning. I've never seen anything like it. It's not that there's rain around us and it's just missing us. The whole country of England is just dry. There's nothing. I've never seen that before.
I feel like I should clarify there too. When I say I've never seen anything like it, England is a much smaller country than the States. So I think it was just it was making me laugh that like we were looking at the entire country and there wasn't a cloud or like a drop of rain over the whole country.
Yeah.
And it was on like, this hike where we were really banking on there being cloud coverage and a little bit of rain.
I'm from Florida, so there's always rain somewhere, but never seen it.
Putting our boots on in the boot room.
Hello. I stepped in poop. So I'm putting my other boot on outside. You told me it was 15.
15.5.
That changes everything.
I know.
We should just take a bus.
On the road again.
Poop boot.
Mm-hmm. I took some ibuprofen and I ate breakfast and I prayed to the Lord and my hips will stop hurting and I feel really good right now. So I'm gonna keep this momentum up.
To clarify, different Lord from the last video.
No.
This is the Lord, not the Lord of
Lord
a certain,
of the Abbey or wherever. I stretched a whole bunch this morning. It's gonna be a really good day.
Oh, man.
Bye, hotel. You were amazing.
The Cleeve Hill Hotel.
Something else. Something. Come on. Come on. 8:29. Let's go.
We're just starting the day. We're kind of climbing back up the hill. A little sore, but what's really distracting me right now is the fact that we're walking. This is a golf course. This whole thing. It's the Cleeve Hill Golf Club. Everything I've found online says the few golfers who have like come up here and reviewed it say it's an absolute hidden gem, and I get it. I mean, the course is in amazing shape. There's sheep grazing, so when you're playing, you kind of have to deal with sheep and people like us because the trail kind of cuts through, kind of around the outside of the course. You're up at the top of Cleeve Hill, so the wind is blowing. The top of that hill right there, where that sheep is the tee box for this hole. So just crazy elevation changes, a lot of contouring. I'm sure it's a ton of fun. I haven't stopped talking about it all morning and all last evening. I wish so badly, A, I had the energy, and B, we had the time to like stay here an extra day so I could play that course.
So if you're watching this and you're a golfer and you're going to do the Cotswold Way, when you stop at the Cleeve Hill Hotel, have a day in between, have
Give
a break
yourself a
day,
day.
and golf, because this is pretty immaculate.
My golf rant is over. I think I've gotten that out of my system. Unfortunately, we are not
That clip's like 3 more minutes long.
At least.
Like chopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was another one of those where you were like, you can just start rambling and you'll edit it down. And man, give me a golf course.
Rambling and rambling.
Golf channel.
This is really hard and I can do it. And I'm doing it. Highest point, baby.
Oh,
That's the count.
almost the highest point. But this hill, Cleeve Hill, where this golf club is the highest point in the Cotswolds. Not exactly the mountains, but
Tell that to my blisters, my hips, my back. Is that the hotel down there?
yep.
That's really not that big of a hike.
The camera's a little deceiving. That it was a pretty steep climb up from there.
Thank you.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's get going.
Let's get going. Burn in daylight.
This is the last bit of climb up to the top of Cleeve Hill. Not a lot of distance, but it got steep, and it got steep quickly. How you doing back there, Rich? Just a little shock to the system to start your morning.
Walking backwards does not help. In the moment, maybe it feels right, but it's...
There were a lot of things that you did, I think, to help your mental well-being that I kind of just let it go. had you asked, like, will this help, I probably would have given you some feedback, but you were in survival mode for a lot of this kind of middle section of the trip.
This day just started.
Yep. I think I might have lost reach. Just taking in the views. Got a lot of forehead in this shot. Good morning, YouTube, wherever this is going. Well, we're at the top. I don't see any kind of signage or markers. So, where do we go from here? Hey, I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is we're here. Bad news is I don't see any kind of signage. Let's hang it right, see what happens. I think that's my favorite moment from this whole video series is you getting to the top of Cleeve Hill and that's all you got in flailing your arms like that.
I do this at the top of several hills. I just don't know if you noticed. Like I get there and I'm like, well, I freaking did it.
This is the one that I remember though.
Yeah. I'm glad you captured that because that is
also, I mean, look at how beautiful.
That is really pretty. That's just
gosh.
How's that? I didn't flick off the town, did I?
I think you were flicking off the hill, but that might have been what that was.
That's what it looked like.
I think that's what that was.
That's not like me. I don't do that. More hill. More hill.
I think I see a sign poking up on the other side of all those sheep. What the heck?
Always. Great.
Yeah, so we got up here and it just opens up. It's us and a whole bunch of sheep. But walked a little bit further up. I think a little thing sticking out up there. So. These are one of the few shots where the camera really does do it justice. I think like how extreme, like the camera looks like we're on like the edge of the world, and that is kind of how it felt. Like not that the drop off was that steep, but just rolling hill, going like sheer downhill, and just like forever out there to see. Mm-hmm. The only thing that was preventing us was, I mean, it got a little hazy out there, but yeah, it was really cool being up there when it was like perfectly clear.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, can you imagine climbing to the top of Cleeve Hill, for us anyway, and it's like pouring rain and it's cloudy and you can't see 30 feet in front of you?
No, I mean,
you know, you're still doing all the work, but you don't get what we got up there. This is just amazing. All right, here's another tee box. Oh my gosh, it says you're playing the course. You end up literally up here at the very top of the hill. There's another hole down here. That's another green. Wow.
we did it. First follow the trip, and it was me. We did a lot more talking up here, but it's all unusable because it's so windy. You can't actually hear the audio. And then I wasn't filming when I fell, and that would have been so much better.
Honestly, maybe not filming is what made your fall only be what it was. Like if you didn't have an arm or a hand to catch it, it could have been worse.
Not as hilarious though. It's okay. I did hurt. That's bad. I should probably change to my hiking boots, but here I go in my tennis shoes again. About 2 miles in, and we're walking through a nature reserve, which is supposed to be like a bajillion butterflies. So
I've already noticed as we got closer, I got like almost swarmed by, not swarmed, but you know, ended up in a large group of butterflies.
all right, now this gate.
This is a pretty silly gate.
Pretty silly gate.
Some of the best unimproved limestone grassland on the Cleeve Common Escarpment. The beauties we might expect to see It's chirping. The wind has died down a little bit.
Some more berries.
Yep, more blackberries. Good one.
Best one yet.
Flavor.
A lot of extra flavor
Yeah.
on that one. Oh man.
Listen,
hey, you live and you learn, right?
Ignorance is bliss.
At that point, even had we really thought of it, would we have cared? I don't know. Again, you were in kind of survival mode there.
It's looking pretty nice, actually. Oh, man, that was so good I almost choked on it. I got excited to tell you about it, and I inhaled about half of it. But the part that I actually ate was pretty good. Blackberries, just all over. All right. How are we feeling?
This is terrible.
So I guess we don't talk about it there, but where we saw the cows, about 5 minutes before that, we had a lady coming towards us
Which passed.
that said, hey, there's probably like...
No, she passed us. Remember? And then she came back around.
Oh, did she go past us first?
Yeah, we passed this lady on the trail hiking, and then she turned around after a while and like ran back to us, and she was like...
Actually, was she running? Was she just like out for a jog or something?
I don't know. But she came back and was like, hey, don't go this way. There's a whole bunch of cows, and they're blocking the trail. So go around, and it'll be much easier, which was nice. So yeah, we kind of like went off trail a little bit, above, over, and then... So that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This, you can't, again, the camera angle. This is the thing with shooting with iPhones, is it doesn't capture depth the way like a real nice camera would. But this is a freaking hill. So this is the top-ish of a very, very steep hill that we had just climbed up.
It also could have been the angle I was taking it.
It's not you, it's the iPhone, I promise.
Okay.
So I am, yeah.
Don't do this. Why would anyone do this to themselves?
For reference, we are halfway up, so doing a lot of questioning life choices.
That's not even the bad part. It's everything else. It's hard. We knew it was going to be hard. I am fighting for my life. I'm happy to do it. Oh, and I also brushed my hand against one of those plants who said don't brush your hand against, which hurt. But for me, it was wonderful because I stopped thinking about my hips for a second. So I'm starting to think if I should just put my whole face in a pile of plants so that I can take my mind off of my legs. But it's really, we're having a good time. Ben's a trooper. He's hyping me up.
Trying to.
This is a kissing gate. It's better too.
Look, I look ridiculous, but I couldn't turn my body. Like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what the issue was. Like this was excruciating.
So,
just getting through this because you had to maneuver a little amount. Doesn't make any sense.
I was tired. The legs were tired. Whole body was hurting. No. This was probably the hardest day.
Yeah.
Of the whole hike for us.
Yeah.
Let's go. Bye, Ben. I'll be here. Waiting on the ambulance.
Go on.
Okay. Do you hear the buzzing?
Yeah. That would be those.
Power lines.
The power lines buzz like crazy. So we're going to get up from underneath them.
Yeah. We're about halfway through.
I don't think I've ever been that close to a power line before. Like maybe everyone does that, but I think that's the closest I've ever been.
Halfway through day 3. Keep on trucking.
Oh, there's a horse running. Oh, it's gone. That was cool.
Oh.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it.
It's really, really.
I'm still convinced that horse was a hallucination. No chance it was real. 0 chance. Just out of nowhere.
No, you can hear it galloping, maybe.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh.
Anyway, this is actually, this was a fun part of the hike too. Death-defying part.
Warm. I think we're about 2/3 done with the hike today, and we just walked by some other hikers who said we're about to hit like the longest and the most exposed by sunlight stretch, and we had just finished our water, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. So we walked past a farm, and I was like, Ben, you gotta go ask if there's a spigot. And he walks up, and the guy's like, oh yeah, no problem. So I'm like, thank you. I wouldn't have made it. I would have to get a taxi into town and get more water, but 3 bottles is not enough on these 15-hour days. Sorry, these 15-mile days, which about 10 hours. It's my wound from falling earlier. My knee hurts a little bit. I may have twisted it in a fun way, so that's cool. My hips hurt, my feet hurt. Ben's doing great. Ben's got no problems, and he's very good at encouraging me.
We are good. So, do you want to happen to have any drinking water or a spigot, would you? And he goes, yeah, of course. I was like, is it okay if I fill up? He goes, yeah, come on.
Oh.
And he got the cold water running for me, so we are all full.
Hello.
So it's important to pause here. I remember when we stopped in Leonard Stanley,
Mm-hmm.
and we stayed with Rosie,
Mm-hmm.
which we'll get to that. That was one of the highlights of our whole trip. One of the questions, and I got this question a couple times from different people we talked to, was how are my countrymen treating you?
Oh yeah.
And everyone, I guess, was worried that we were having bad experiences with the people and people were being rude to us. And this was just one of those examples. Every single person we interacted with on this hike, whether it was like someone hiking or employees or someone working the pub, it was so pleasant. And we had so many interactions like this where like we needed a little bit of help,
Yeah.
or, we needed some water or this and that. And there was never we didn't have a single interaction that wasn't very pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
So I only have positive things to say about the people over there that we interacted with. But this was a good example where like we, ran out of water. There was a couple of guys just working in the middle of their day.
Yeah.
And I kind of jumped in and knocked on a door and asked for water and just like never, didn't think twice about it. Just helped us out.
Yeah, because this
Nice.
day we didn't go through any towns.
We didn't.
So
And this is the day, I think when looking back on this is the day that you were like, in your head, you're like, I would have taken a cab had we had the opportunity. Right.
no, I
But we really never cut through a town to even have the chance to like try and catch a bus or like.
No,
Take a
I
cab.
I've never said that. This is the day I would have had to get a cab to get water into a town.
Oh, that's
to
what
then
it was.
come back.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not quitting. Quitter.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I thought for sure we would hit at least 1 or 2 towns by now, but nothing.
I know.
So that was kind of a lucky break. We made it to the top of
Another hill.
another hill. I probably butchered the pronouncing, but it's Leckhampton Hill. Had a great view.
Oh, Winchcombe. We were right.
It's not Winchcombe.
No. Everyone was like, good job, Ben, you did it. So
Nailed it.
I won't lie,
this is not Leckhampton. I think it's Lecompton or something. We'll find out.
New game. How many different ways can we pronounce this word?
it's tough to compare to what we were looking at this morning off of Cleeve Hill,
Mm-hmm.
but beautiful nonetheless. All right, now we need to figure out where we go.
So it's been a hard day, and we haven't walked through any towns. So we haven't had lunch. It's 3:30. Let me put this into perspective. We left at 8:30. It is 3:30.
I remember this moment.
I do. I remember every moment. That is how long we have gone, and we still have a lot more to do. That's all I needed to say. We've been. I think this is your first Cliff Bar. I haven't peed all day, which probably isn't good.
I did.
Ben did, so that's good, but we're on our final stretch, 2 more miles. it was hard today. We really didn't vlog as much as we usually do, because it was kind of like head down and go. Because if I didn't, I don't know. I hope this is the hardest day, and I'm gonna feel real proud once we get to that hotel.
Tomorrow's Wednesday, and I think Wednesday is actually supposed to be the hottest day, but tomorrow is also our shortest day. At the end of today, we will have done more than 2 of tomorrow's hikes. So
This is the hardest day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Without a doubt.
like walking through no towns, hard. Not having food, stupid. Not drinking any ciders, just ridiculous.
Yeah, the worst part was not having a pub.
Yeah, I think so, but 15.5.
Now, again, we say not having food, but we had a backpack full of like Cliff Bars. Like we had
we had snacks.
it wasn't no food in terms of like it was dangerous, but just not like a true lunch.
Yeah.
We just had a bunch of granola bars and things like that. I don't want people thinking we're irresponsible out here, you know.
hopefully we can be wrapped up with tomorrow before the heat really kicks in. Things are looking up. The one thing I need to tell you, we have more than 2 miles left. It's more like 2 hours, so closer to 4.
Oh, that's right. That's what I meant.
Okay.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
I was so scared
know.
to tell you that.
I know.
You were dying,
I know.
and you said we've got 2 miles left. And as soon as I heard it, I was like,
You can see your face. You like look up and you're like,
how do I approach this with her? So
I just misspoke. I knew that.
That was about it. And I sat there contemplating, do I just not say anything? But like, no, like she'll start asking questions. And like when we still have an hour and a half left, I can't tell her. Okay. So anyway, I was terrified of how to approach that one.
Yeah. Welcome.
I know. I will not break down and cry yet. I knew that. I just
This felt like
misspoke.
a good time to tell you that.
That's really funny.
We are now at the top of Crickley Hill. We have, what did I say earlier? 1.5 miles?
Yeah. Sounds about right.
We stopped for some ice cream, took in a couple more views. Now we're off for the home stretch. 1.5 hours is my guess, which kind of puts us in a little bit later than we thought initially, but not by much. There's a pub downstairs with a restaurant, so you just get checked in, get horizontal, and then all you have to do is make it downstairs.
I would not make it down the street.
Hey, little guy.
What is it? I'll put him on my shoulder. Now, which one?
Straight. Always go straight. Ah, perfect.
Wow. Made it move. My first toenail I lose, right pinky toe. And it was.
Think you're losing toenails?
All of them, but she's the first to go.
Yikes.
That.
That's interesting. Little shelter someone built?
Looks like it. I wonder if campers sleep there sometimes.
All right.
Oh, there's more.
This must be a campsite. That would explain all the logs that are kind of set up for sitting and stuff too. Oh yeah, they're all over the place. Look. Wow.
What is really cool about this hike, there hasn't been one time where I felt unsafe, even if I was by myself. That's been nice. Also, you don't have to worry about like bears eating you. Worst thing you have to worry about is a couple of cows here and there, maybe a bull. This is why we do it. The end.
Let's grind it out.
Less than a mile. right?
Yep.
See, there I believed it was less than a
Yeah,
mile.
I think we still had like 2 miles left at that point. Or like a mile and like 3/4 or something, but it was late enough and hot enough, and it had been long enough. I just
Gave up.
Yep.
Well, this one too, this was another hotel, like weird direction kind of. Like it was like stay on the trail, but then you're gonna see a
that's
tree
right.
and walk down this hill. And so we're just like in the forest, like what? And then another nice guy was like, "Oh, you're gonna want to do this."
Do we talk about that?
We might. Let's see.
We're about to get there.
Dogs, shut up.
They're just having fun. Everyone's gonna think you hate our dogs.
I'm gonna edit that part out. We made it. I've never been happier to be somewhere. And we did over 16 miles. We didn't get lost, so your girl crushed 16 miles. That was the hardest thing I've done in my life. This was our longest day. So everything else should be fine. I'm not looking forward to pulling my socks off after. See how I'm hobbling?
Oh, yeah.
Like I am not well.
But okay, so from that shot on the hill to here, you end up in like some woods, and we had some instructions that said you're going to see some landmark and you need to hang a left there. And we saw something, but it wasn't what was described. And they even provided a picture, and what we saw didn't look like the picture, but like I could see further down. I was like, oh, that's what the picture's of. But then we're moving, and someone walking his dogs in the opposite direction was like, hey, what was the name of this hotel?
Are you looking for Royal George?
Royal George. So, so he said, hey, are you looking for the Royal George? And we said, yes. And he said, you're going to want to come back this way and hang it right. And he's like, I'm actually heading up that way, so you can just follow me. And again, like just friendly guy, kind of figured where we were headed, knew we were going in the right or the wrong direction. So helped us out. And we chatted for a little bit just about he, lives there, but worked in London. And we talked about like commuting, just, little things like that. But it was those little moments that made this trip really fun. Oh, that's a picture of her foot. I don't need to see that. It was oof.
Look at this. I can feel every single blister. I cannot wait to lay down. I cannot wait. That's nice. Oh. This is the moment I have been waiting for all day. I'm gonna cry. It was the hardest. It was so hard. Oh, I'm so proud of me. I'm proud of you, but you're fine. I'm proud of me. All right, Ben, you have to take off my socks and tell me. Oh,
wow. Kind of afraid to do this.
This actual clip shows my feet, but I was, again, like weird, not for the internet, so I zoomed it in a lot.
Okay.
Not bad? Oh, no.
It's not as bad as I thought it was.
That's good.
There are definitely some blisters. Does it hurt right here on the side of your foot?
Which side?
Right here?
No.
Okay. Because you have a blister there where, like, if I had one, I would be in, like, searing pain. So it's good that it's not.
This is the foot where things are going to go wrong.
Oh, really?
Okay.
There. Oh, yeah. You got a big one coming in on this toe. You see that big lump?
Oh, gross. Yeah.
Oh, that is gnarly.
I gotta say, this entire video series from now on is brought to you by Ben because I am in survival mode. So yeah, I don't know why it's one of our least watched videos because it has everything. It's hilarious. There's pain, there's drama, there's horror. That was a hard day.
Tough day.
Yeah. All right.
There is an interesting angle for this hike because that's only the first of like 3 golf courses you end up cutting through.
Mm-hmm.
There is an interesting angle for like making it a golf trip, but also like a hike or like a walking holiday where you're just kind of hiking from course to course and like you stay a day or two at each place and play a round or two, and then keep moving.
That sounds boring, but you have fun.
Just saying, you could.
Okay, I have some comments from the actual real video.
Okay.
That we can revisit. People think even thinking about hiking being a safe activity is a wild concept. Like, they're so surprised that I said, like,
that
I felt safe. Yeah, man, don't come to America.
No, I mean, there is just in general, right? Women like tend to not travel alone, which is unfortunate because they feel unsafe, like not being in a group or something. But I think it had more to do with the people that we were interacting with than maybe the places we were. But yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So good job, England. You're doing it right. Stinging nettles are unavoidable.
Yeah, they were everywhere. And then we ended up on multiple parts of the trail where the trail was like overgrown with nettles, and you just had to kind of trudge through them. Yeah. To
prevent blisters, wear 2 pairs of socks. You'd think that was the case, but not for me. It's my feet. I don't know, man.
Could have helped.
Oh, someone said at 12:28, I can tell Rachel's about to, or 13:28, I can tell Rachel's about to cry.
What's happening at 13:28?
Go. Let's play the tapes, people.
So hopefully we can be wrapped up.
I can see it.
No, I'm not. That's not me about to cry face. That's me like, this is hard. I'm doing it. This is crazy. That's that face. If I was gonna cry.
But I can't see it.
No, you don't know anything about me. Okay, someone did 109 miles in 3 days. Well, that's crazy. Good for you.
It's like a marathon a day. More than a marathon a day.
That's crazy. Y'all wild. A couple people commented and said we walked past their house, which is absolutely insane.
That's crazy.
So if we ever do this hike again, we're gonna have to like coordinate with everyone and be like, we'll stop in for a pint. Somebody asked what trail app we used. We did not. We followed the signs and asked for, I wouldn't say we asked for directions. Like, strangers looked at us and said, you guys are lost.
There were a couple moments where like we were looking for a trailhead and people, and it tended to be at like along a road or like in a city. It was never when we were, well, not never, but it was rarely when we were like out and about. Like the top of Cleeve Hill, that was one moment where I didn't really know where to go, but we figured it out quick.
Yeah.
But where we really struggled was when you were like navigating roads and cities and trying to find a little sign about that big around in the midst of everything. Yeah. But that's where people would just stop and like could see us looking around, and they were like, you want to go this way.
Someone said, have you ever thought about swimming the English Channel? Yeah, I could do that, no problem.
I think about it all the time.
Ben would drown immediately. Ben can swim, but not well.
I'm very dense.
How much did we spend on food? We didn't keep track of that.
It's a really good question.
Yeah, but not a lot.
Okay, let's like rough math. How many? It was 9 days of hiking. 50 a day times 9. So that's 450.
Yeah, and breakfast was always included.
Yeah,
wherever we were staying.
Somewhere between 400 to 500 pounds in total. And we were not very good about like, you could probably do it for way cheaper than that.
Yeah.
You can be smart and like find places where you can just buy sandwiches and take those on the road. But one of the things we were pretty intentional about was anytime we found a pub along the hike, we wanted to go in and have a quick drink and like eat the food and, you know, talk to people and get the experience. So that it was kind of an intentional thing. Yeah. You can definitely do it for a little cheaper than how we did it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't change it because then you miss those interactions.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if we weren't going into those pubs for like food, I would still like, even if we packed sandwiches or something, I would still want to drop in for like a pint or, you know, a half pint or something just to get the experience.
This is a tough one. Is there a place in America that matches the Cotswolds?
No.
I mean, like if you had to think about like a hike or something similar, not like yes or no, but like what could you compare it to?
It's so different. Like the easy answer is no. I mean, there are hikes you can find
That's the question: is what is the
Well,
the
but they're
similar-
totally different. Like there's no hikes you'll find that are rolling hills, that are like cool footpaths that connect you from town to town. The only hikes I'm aware of are like that people go and do regularly are mountains that are like long connected trails. You're climbing mountains. Like even in the Appalachian Trail is kind of the more popular one on the East Coast, and that one is way more extreme in terms of the terrain and the elevation than the Cotswolds. And then like moving out west, like the terrain only gets crazier. So yes, there are long connected hikes, but nothing like the Cotswolds in terms of you're finding these cool like small villages, and it's like more of a gentle kind of rolling hill type of terrain.
To put it into perspective, the closest mountain range from us is what, 12 hours away?
Yeah.
By car. So that's like, if you're wondering, like, why don't you guys go on hikes near you? Yeah, it takes 2 days to drive. Well, 1 day to drive there. So like we don't. Yeah. It's just not something we can do. And then it's giant mountains. So like, your girl can't walk up a hill. So we're not doing the Appalachians, as you call them.
We've done some things.
Yeah.
We've gone to like the Smokies and done some hikes.
Yeah, we've done some things. Yeah, that was all the questions we had on our day 3 video. Some questions from our last video.
I think this next day Carpenter's Arms Day. Okay, the next day is my absolute favorite moment of the whole trip. Honestly, 2 of my favorite moments. There's a pub that we hit, and then staying with Rosie at her B&B. 2 of the highlights of the trip. Yeah. And solely because of the people we're interacting with. Yeah. The next video will be fun.
All right. Hey, thanks for rewatching this with us. A lot of you are enjoying the series, and we are definitely enjoying rewatching it. We have talked a lot about taking our newborn, narrowboating. We're going to figure that out. We want to do another hike. We're looking at a couple. Hey, enjoy some never before seen footage. I think this will start to dwindle because as the hike goes on, there's less. And so I really did use a lot of it. So, enjoy what we have. If there is even any, I have to figure that out. Ben, one day you're going to watch this series and maybe you'll like it.
I will, I promise. Well, it doesn't help that for Lent, I gave up like spending a lot of time on YouTube and things like that. So that's working against me.
Not an excuse. All right. Bye. See you next week, hopefully, or not hopefully. If we don't see you, it's because we're having a child.
It's a really good point. If these videos just stop, then theoretically the next one, which would probably come weeks later, there will be a newborn featured.
Whoa.
It's pretty wild to think about.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you on the next
Don't make me say it.
Off Day Adventure.
Okay.
Bye.
Can you look at the camera and see how bad the shadow is?
You're good.
Good?
Yeah.
Do you see me?
Yeah.
Day 3 of the Cotswold Way. We are feeling it today. We are sore. We've got blisters. We did 13 miles. Actually, we did a little bit more than 13 miles yesterday. And today is 15.5. So if we can make it through today, we've got a nice, easy day tomorrow. Only 7 miles. So come with us as we do our absolute best. Tellus Point. Oh God, hi.
Nothing like starting the day with another good climb, huh?
Yeah.
But I think that genuinely is the top of Cleeve Hill.
I cannot wait.
So we are very close.
I cannot wait to get my ass up there in a second.
I think it's a little over 1,000 feet, which most of, or a lot of England is a lot closer to sea level, so. The sun's up, but it's not hot. It's still down in the low 60s. It dipped down to 55 last night. So it was nice and chilly overnight, giving us some cool temps to start our day in. And the wind gusts while we're up here at the top of this hill are Feeling pretty good.
You're not filming me, right?
Yeah, I am.
Oh no.
Feels right, huh? Oh, this is. What is this?
Can't read it.
Rotary Club of Cheltenham. I think it's just a marker commemorating that you're at the top. Oh god. Is that still? No. It's not too bad. It's okay.
We are halfway through the hike and I want to quit so bad. This is hard. Every part of my body hurts, but I knew this would be hard and we are gonna make it through. We can do it. We can do anything.
You're really doing a good job selling this.
We are halfway through the hike and I'm feeling good. Like no pain, like beautiful views, just plenty of water.
There it is.
We are halfway through the hike on day 3. Little challenging, some hills, some pain, but nothing we can't handle. We'll see which one we use. Wanna see something gross?
Yeah.
Here's my hand. Just sweat.
I don't know if the camera got it, but
Ugh,
I think
it's there.
I think people will understand where you're going for there.
There's just a pool in my boobs. This is kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. What's your step, Ben?